Well, hey there, welcome back to the White Farm. Still in August. We're never going to get out of August, it doesn't seem. Oh boy, yeah, we will eventually. So, a lot of you guys had mentioned in one of my previous videos about this water tower and that I'm a dummy because, because I didn't just fill up the tanker in the pond that's nearby for free. Thank you guys for reminding me about that. Sometimes when you're recording the videos, kind of just get zoned in and just miss things, just forget about other things that's on the map or other ways to do things. So thank you for pointing that out. That's going to save me a ton of money going forward. So with that being said, I don't need this on the farm. While it looks great, the map maker's done a great job with this farm. We're not going to use it, so I'm going to get rid of it just to open up a little bit of space. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the water tower, and hey, I'll get $1,000 back. So I'll starting this episode off good, making $1,000 right out of the gate. Now, for those of you that don't know, there is a pond right here beside the farm, and as a matter of fact, I mean, I could just fill it right there, drive around to the garden beds right there. So that'll be very, very quick, and we can get that done. So you see, we do have the straw in the field, and we also have the grass over in the other field over there. So first things first, got a couple things we're going to do on this episode. First thing, we're going to get the tether going. I mentioned in a previous episode that I wanted to try to add a little realism, and then ran through a fence. Oh, yeah, I know. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and, so we had cut the grass, we let it dry a bit while we harvested. So that's done, and so now we're going to go ahead and run the tether over it and get it converted over into hay. But to simulate a little bit more drying time, I'm going to also let it set after tedding it and do some other activity before I bale it up. So we're going to go ahead and give this tether a shot. Now I think the tether is rated at 25 horsepower. I think the Massey has around 47. I think it is 47, 48. So shouldn't have any problems pulling it. It does look awfully big for it, but we'll see what happens. I've never used this tether before. Well, this is not good. It does appear that the Massey, I mean, I'm pedal to the metal right here, full throttle, and it is barely moving. Barely moving. Alright, so we don't have time to waste with that. So undoubtedly, the mod, the 25 horsepower rating on the mod is not entirely accurate. That or the 47, 48 horsepower rating on the Massey is not accurate. So one of them's off. I think we'll be okay if we just hook up with the case. So I'll do that now. Alright, let's get back in and get this connected and run back over to the field. Need to get this done quickly so that we can go into some baling. What I plan to do is bale up some of the straw, or all of the straw actually, in the field I harvested that had the wheat on it. Try to get that up. That'll be a little bit of straw for me. Now, whether I sell it or keep it, I'm not sure at this point. I have to see how the season goes and see how much cash that I kind of am able to keep in my pocket. Oh man, I tell you, I thought I had this map set up fairly well this playthrough with the equipment that I chose, but then it's going to end up being, it's going to be a little tight. At some point I'm going to either run out of money or may have to liquidate something to to get something else. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling. We're at 45 and I need so many more implements. But I'm going to try to make it work. I do like the challenge. One thing I do want to mention, as we're running around this field getting the tedding completed, I do not have precision farming turned on currently. We're just running straight base game crop or fertilizing and all that stuff. We're just no precision farming, but I am going to add it in at some point. Probably once I get all these crops off the field and start working on getting them set up for the next crop. Probably go ahead and add it in then, so that I can go ahead and get the soil samples taken and to get the lime and fertilizer set up as it should be going forward, and as appropriate for the precision farming. So that's what I will do at some point, and I'll let you know when I do that. Well, and you'll probably see it because I'll be taking soil samples. But we have harvested everything off the fields that we own, so it's really not a big deal at this point. I just want to let you know how I had things set up. One thing also I want to mention, or another thing also, is a lot of you have commented on the horse pen that's just nearby the farm. And I appreciate the comments, really I do. Please keep those coming. I like feedback, whether it's positive or negative, really. It doesn't matter, it helps the channel. I do like the fact that my audience is engaging with my videos, so that is really good, really neat for me. So please keep the comments coming. But as far as the horse pen, it is a very cheap piece of land, and as a matter of fact, tell you what, let's just hire a worker there real quick. We'll see how he does with the tedder. So this is our main farm area right here, and the piece of land that I'm talking about is right here, $4,500. It's not very big. It just has a horse pen on it, and I believe that there may be a couple of horses already in the pen. So I don't really want to deal with horses on this playthrough. I may change my mind before it's all said and done with, but I think if anything, I would purchase that plot of land, sell the horses to another loving farm, not to the glue factory, and maybe take the horse pen down, and then maybe put a little production on that piece of land or something. So not sure how I will go forward, and I appreciate all of y'all for mentioning it. We'll see what I decide. I don't know. Alright, so what I'm going to do, so that I can get everything in that I want to get in on this video, I'm probably going to have to do a little bit more editing than I would like. But I'm going to cut it here. I'll finish up this field. So the tedding is going well. It's working out. And I want to get this tractor freed up so that I can get the baler hooked up and get going with some baling. All done with the tedding. So now to simulate a little bit of drying after flipping it over, we'll just leave it on the field. We'll go do something else, and that will be then ready to rake up and bale up. So that's pretty exciting. We'll get some hay put up. That'll be good. Very useful for the future. Hopefully I don't have to sell it to make ends meet. Hopefully not. Alright, we'll clean this off later. We'll just go ahead and get it back in the barn. We may need another cutting. Hopefully we can get another cutting off of that grass field before the winter shows up. Not sure what the winter environment will be like on this map. I don't know if we'll see a lot of snow or a little bit or just what. We'll have to see how that turns out, but hopefully we can get another cutting. And I think I mentioned earlier on I want to try and make some silage out of it if I can. May not be able to. We'll have to see how our funds are and how we're doing with everything at that point. So I do need to repair this baler. I bought it used. So let's do that real quick. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and top off the case as well, get everything good. And I am going to make the biggest bells I can because I don't have I don't have a way to move them at this point. So, oh, does this only make one size bell? It may only make one size bell. Let's see. That is a least. Nope, we own it. There it is. 120. Never mind then. I'm making 125 centimeter bells. That's fine. We'll make it work out. So this field, I don't know how much it'll bring. Straw usually yields pretty good, especially on something like wheat. As you can see, we're almost halfway through a bell. Here we are halfway. So I don't know if you count the rows. Probably end up with a dozen or maybe 2 dozen bells, maybe. Be interesting to see how many we end up with. Straw does not pay out very well at all. So it should mainly be used for cows or pigs for manure going forward. May have to sell it. Not real sure. Not real sure. I did decide to go with round bells on this playthrough. To me, that's something I've dealt a lot with the smaller square bells, the ones you can pick up by hand. But other than that, I only have experience really with the round bells. So I wanted to do that on this playthrough, just to make it seem more authentic to myself. That's a pretty cool setup right there. I like that a lot. And this baler may be pushing the limits of this case. It's doing okay, but I think horsepower wise, we're probably getting close to maxing out, I would think. I'll check that here in a second. Next time this thing makes a bell, I'll check it out. I think we probably are, because this baler takes, I thought it was 90 horsepower, but I may be wrong on that. We'll see here in just a moment. But it is doing a good job picking up the swath. No problems there. Of course, the straw swath is not very big. Alright, let me see here. The baler takes 70 horsepower, and the case is at 80. So, yeah, we are getting close to maxing out. But it's making it a little slow up that incline there, but on the flats, it's doing pretty good. Alright, that is doing really, really well. I can keep it centered up on the swath. I shouldn't have any problems. But I have, so far, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 bells. Yeah, I think I'll make it okay. Alright, all done with the straw, and it went very well. This combo worked out pretty good. So I just got a couple little bits and pieces I'm gonna try to get here, because as you can see, I'm at 83% on the bell. Now, one thing that I don't like about the current belling system is that you can't unload a partial bell. And I don't know why they won't implement that, because you can use some out of bells. Like if you put it in the feed mixer or something like that, a straw blower, it will use some of the bell. The liters will go down and it will maintain the same size. So I don't know why they won't let us eject a partial bell, but as you can see, I'm at 84%. And since I am on PC, I am going to do something here real quick, and we're just going to go ahead and fill up the baler with straw. Alright. Oh, that did not do what... did I not do that right? Let's see. Request failed. Let's empty it. It's okay. Well, that's not working. Well, that stinks, because I was going to go ahead and make another bell, but we did make 19 bells. So I was pretty close. I said almost 2 dozen, so yeah, I was pretty close. So that is good. We've got 19 straw bells. That will come in handy later on. Yeah, I wish we could eject a partial bell. That just bugs me. I can't stand it. You know, in real life, you'd be able to, even if it's a small bell, you can wrap it up, roll it out of the baler, no problem. So I don't know why we can't do it in game. Giants, please fix that on the next version or whatever you got to do. That is a big knock in my opinion. But now it is time to make hay. And unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time to actually bale up the hay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started with the raking. We'll see how this rake works behind the Massey, and then we'll probably bale up the hay on the next episode. And what I'll do is I've got to find out some way to pick up the bales. So I got to come up with that between now and the next episode. Trying to figure out what to do. Come up with something. I may have to do one at a time and take them off the field. I don't know. I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to not use auto load, at least for now, as long as the farm is small. I'm going to try to load all the bells manually, which also means I'll have to load them and unload them manually to get them in a barn. So that'll be fun. Something a little bit different. This little rake here, I tell you, I love these roller bar rakes. I don't know what it is, but it just seems so smooth to me. I guess it's the way it moves and rotates. It's just a very smooth action. Very calming, very peaceful. I do like using these. They are small, but it is what it is. We got a small little grass field here, so it shouldn't take too awful long. And I'm overlapping the edges a bit because that tedder spread the grass pretty wide. I'm trying to overlap a bit to get anything that sprayed out here into the grass. And I'll probably make a couple of passes around this edge. We'll just bring everything in. It's not going to make a huge windrow. Not right off anyway. So if you don't know about these rakes, some of you may not have ever had any experience with them, although I imagine a lot of you have. They are ground driven. There's no PTO hooked to these, so it actually is the speed of the rake is governed by the speed that you pull it. So if you notice right back down by this tire, you see there is what looks to be a PTO shaft, and you notice when I stop, the rake stops. If we go super slow, the rake goes super slow. So the faster you go, the faster the rake actually turns. I actually missed a spot here. So that is really neat. Not many tools in game are ground driven like that and have a very good visual, but these rakes do, and I really appreciate that. The time that the modder spent implementing that, very neat. Oh man, I cut it just a little bit too short. There we go. So yeah, now that I have this basically double pass along the outside, I'll come along and go the opposite direction, and that'll give us a nice little headland pass, and then we can start working on the up and down rows. As a matter of fact, I may end up needing to finish that up on the next episode. We'll get down here to the end to turn around and see how big of a row it's going to make. I don't think it's going to be too thick and too big. The grass is not very thick. I don't think we got a very good yield off of it. Alright, that's good there. So now what I can do and get turned around. And we'll go down this side. That'll make a nice little row there that we can pick up with the baler. Now there are options, in case you're not familiar with this mod, where you can connect multiple of these together, and it does help you with the raking, because you can just cover more ground. But I had decided to just go with a single one on this playthrough, at least to start out with. Just to start small and take my time. So as you can imagine, this activity is going to take a bit of time to get this entire field completed. But once I do that, then I'll be ready to get the hay made up into bales. And hopefully, I have come up with a solution on how to get them off the field. Hopefully. Gotta find something cheap. There we have it. It's working out pretty good. So now I'll start working up and down the field, trying to get the rest of this done. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and ride down to the end and start down here. Chase this deer down. Oh man. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure and give the video a like. Please leave me a comment if you hadn't done that. Let me know how you're liking the series. Subscribe to my channel if you hadn't done that. That would be much appreciated. Thank you all so much. We'll see you back here next time.